But yeah, you get all the way down to the end of Mementos after finding out that there's this malevolent force that's just entrapping the minds of humanity and making them feel like they would be perfect behind bars instead of having the freedom to think by themselves.
So basically, when you're going through the depths of Mementos, you're basically trying to steal the public's treasure.
Yeah, which ends up being the Holy Grail.
And it is huge.
Oh yeah.
And
here's yet another problem.
You try to destroy it.
And before Jacob starts, I do want to point out that just like in Persona 3 and 4, there's a random day in school where you just learn about something that ends up being the final boss.
Yep.
Like Persona 3, you have this big, insanely long lecture about the Arcana and Nyx. Then in P4...
In Persona 4, when you go to Persona 3's location, you get a lecture about Izanami and Izanagi.
Yeah, P5 randomly Kawakami decides it's a perfect day to talk about the holy goddamn grail. But you learn about that, and you go, okay, that's something, alright. And then you see the holy grail at the bottom of Mementos, and you go, oh, okay, that's what that was. So you fight the holy grail. You can't beat it because the collective people that the Holy Grail has entrapped believe that they want this Holy Grail to be their savior. So
they keep healing it every turn for thousands of health.
So you guys retreat and decide to regroup and decide to try and figure out something a bit different.
Well, it's not that you retreat, it's that it straight up blows you out of there and then you start getting erased from existence. Like, the next time you fight it is after you go through the final area.
Yeah. Again,
I just recently beat New Game Plus, so...
Again, if I get details wrong, please feel free to correct me.
Yeah, but basically, you fail to kill it because it keeps getting killed for thousands of health. It blows you out back to Shibuya, where it starts to merge with Mementos.
Which, that scene is something. Just like skeletal structures appearing from nowhere.
Everyone's pretty much somehow forgotten about the thieves at this point.
Hey, look at Mishima though. Mishima notices this shit. Canonically. All your can't.
All your max.
Hang on, that's the key point though. That's a key point I need to point out here. If you don't max any confidants out, Mishima still notices.
Doesn't Sojiro also? Because he was
in
a cutscene for that.
You're right.
The only thing that changes between Mishima not getting maxed out in terms of rank and Do getting maxed out in terms of rank, there's a cutscene where Mishima basically reminds everybody of the Phantom Thieves.
Start of the here's all your max confidants cheering you on.
Yeah, and then they do that, and then you have your whole second phase of the final boss. But if you don't do that, then this man that's been known in infamy as the Floral Pants Man starts to remind everybody of the Phantom Thieves instead.
Yeah.
And then Mishima is just seen cheering with everybody else, and then Sojiro walks up to him. And the scene plays like normal. But yeah, the one thing that weirded me out when I thought about it more often was not necessarily the fact of just everybody disappearing from existence, but the fact that everybody was disappearing because quote-unquote nobody remembered the Phantom Thieves. But if you maxed out anybody's rank, wouldn't that prevent you from leaving since everybody all the time is worried about you whenever anything about the Phantom Thieves gets brought up? Like when Akira...
Isn't Mishima's entire character...
When the news gets out that Akira's quote-unquote dead, every single one of your confidants, whether they're maxed or not, goes so you're okay, right? Yeah, I'm good. Oh, thank God.
No, I remember it only really being the max ranks and...
It's maxed ranks and the kid. And Oda.
You sure? Because...
And Mishima.
You sure? Because I didn't have Hifumi maxed out, but she still messaged me my first playthrough.
Weird.
Okay then.
I don't know how.
Okay then. But anyways, yeah, there's that. But I don't know. I just think that maybe not everybody would disappear, and maybe Akira would stay. But then we wouldn't have the confrontation and the major plot twist that doesn't make any sense Igor somehow got kicked out of his own Velvet Room, which isn't even his to begin with. That was your first clue. And the second clue is that this is now JacobPF, not Igor. And Caroline and Justine aren't actually Caroline and Justine. They're ripped apart pieces of a being known as, oh god, what's her name? Lorenza. This comes out of god dang nowhere.
Although I have to say, considering the Japanese VA for Igor died, the fact that they used the voice actor for a meta plot twist was pretty cool.
And again, they hint at it because the first cutscene when you appear in the Velvet Room, Igor goes, or JacobPF goes, "Trickster, welcome to my Velvet Room." Meanwhile,
the line in the other games was "Welcome to the Velvet Room."
Yes, because the Velvet Room is
because that's not the Velvet Room.
The Velvet Room is a spatial like blobbity blook of just like a realm that's between subconscious and consciousness, and it
so you can't physically take it over.
It changes depending on what the the guest's mental state is. So like for P3, it was like an elevator going up, subtle for ascension. And P4, it was a limo going through the mist, trying to find like its way through and reach the truth. P5's is a prison because you're a prisoner. But you find out that's not necessarily because of you, it was more or less because of JacobPF, which doesn't make sense. Like, I guess the most that I can take out of that thing is that JacobPF made his own copycat of the Velvet Room. But then Igor, when he just pops in, nothing changes. When he comes back,
Igor just pops in the same disc that JacobPF was using, pretty much.
So it's just like,
and then the door is off the jail, but you can't walk through it.
But it's like so this actually was the Velvet Room. But if so, then how did JacobPF get in? I know he's a god, but even Narlathep, who was the god thing, like a Cthulhu mythos in Persona 2, he couldn't touch the Velvet Room.
No, he couldn't. That was plot relevant in Eternal Punishment.
So, like, the fact that something can just walk in the Velvet Room and just, like, kick the master of it out doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like at this point, Atlas Japan was just, like, grasping at straws. And then just...
And let's not get into, like, the stakes.
Yeah.
So... here's the problem with mementos, and it being the general public. That doesn't physically make sense. This is all in response to the Japanese elections. Guess what?
Wait.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but the entire world does not care about one country's elections unless it's America, because you guys should keep shoving it down our throats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the idea that this would affect any place other than Japan is weird. The fact that JacobPF seemingly had this influence upon all the villains that you face so far also is kind of weird, because it makes me think, when did JacobPF's influence even start? Like, period.
Also, the fact that Mementos is the subway of Japan, going back to the whole Japan isn't everything.
Yeah, but like,
here's our next problem. Morgana says this is the next problem. It is Morgana says the powers of Persona will be gone. The powers of Persona will be gone. That doesn't make sense. That's not how Personas work.
It's not. Like, even when the TV world was gone, like, the P4 cast could still use their personas. It just took they just couldn't use them in the real world.
Yeah, like they could use them on the midnight stage. They could use them when one of the arena bad guys basically mimicked the Dark Hour.
Or they could do it when they're fighting in wherever Margaret decided to hide out.
Yeah, like you guys are weak. P1 and 2 guys could just do it anyway.
So like, it's not so like us just like, and the reason why I'm so exasperated at this is just like, you know Persona 5 is going to get spin-offs. So trying to pass off is just like, nope, this is it, nothing else, nope. Nothing else with this cast of characters, absolutely nothing. You're never going to see the Personas ever again because they're gone.
Despite the end of the game having them be on a road trip.
Pretty much. It's just like, it makes this whole ending of the game seem so taken away from the other half of the game, which was really great.
And then there's Morgana disappearing.
But then
coming back as a normal cat.
I like the mentality. I like the thing that is just like, he went away, but came back immediately, but just wasn't sure on how to like how to talk to everybody after that big heartfelt goodbye.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, so here's like Ryuji has a fake death, and then the main cast has a fake death, and then Morgana.
Less fake death, more 10-minute retirement.
And then Morgana has a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon ending happen to him for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
But then, just like a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, unless you're playing Gates to Infinity, you just come back immediately.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but like a lot less heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, why the fuck is this happening?
All of that plot inconsistencies and just stupid stuff aside.
It murders the ending. It just makes it really... it murders the ending. It makes it not fun. It makes it padding. It feels like it should have ended hours ago. It feels like I should have ended the game hours ago.
Yeah. So you go up, you find the Holy Grail again. It transforms into this big...
After fighting the 4 archangels.
Yeah, which was cool. I like that detail.
Also, Michael's son kicked my butt a good few times because his minions kept using Rakandra over and over.
That'd be fun if the final boss wasn't discount YVHV. YHVH?
Yeah, if like...
Discount God.
But
discount Yahweh.
The dude's big angelic figure with a very like, it's a decent final boss theme, but comparing it to every other theme in the game, like Rivers in the Desert trumps it by a margin. Even the normal battle theme trumps it by a margin.
Mist trumps it by a margin. The Battle for Everyone's Souls trumps it by a margin.
I'm not saying that we need to have a retake of the Almighty where it's an 8-minute track that like slowly gets its start.
The Almighty wasn't worth it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you want to play that one bit? You want to play that one bit and only that one bit because freaking hell, it's not worth it. 8 minutes for freaking 40 seconds.
Like, I'm not saying that we need every single final boss theme in Persona to be like P3 or even PQ. Like, okay, no, actually, I'm taking back. Every final boss theme at least needs to match PQ. If PQ, a game that doesn't have any plot significance whatsoever.
What's Q's final boss theme? Again, still on dungeon horror.
There's okay. The battle in the battle in the clock tower and the infinite. They're really freaking amazing.
If a game that literally means nothing and adds nothing has a better boss theme than your main series game, you need to go back to the drawing board and have another go at it. Again, JacobPF, that track, pretty good, but not final boss tier, at least to me.
Not like, the problem is, it's like on the lowest of the low. You've got the Almighty, you've got, is it the Almighty? You've got
Almighty is when you're fighting Izanami, yeah.
Okay, you've got P4's final boss theme and P5 final boss theme, and every other final boss theme from Persona is above it. Persona 1 is above it. Twice!
Twice? What?
Because Persona 1, when Persona 1 originally came out on PS1, it had like, your normal Atlas-ly like soundtrack. But then
I forgot the Snow Queen final boss too. It wins 4 times!
But then Persona 1 had a PSP remake where they changed pretty much every single song on the soundtrack.
Okay.
So we got another final boss theme.
So basically, they did what Persona 3 Portable's female route did to the soundtrack. Got it.
Sort of. Persona 3 Portable was more just like it changed some of the tracks, but it was the tracks that you hear most often, so it felt more.
Whereas Persona 1 was literally, it went from ambiantic battles and ambience
To literally just Persona 3's music.
Okay.
You've got a problem when you've got a problem when your final boss tracks like.
It's just very underwhelming, especially with everything that built up to it.
Yeah.
And like,
although the fight itself is fun.
the fight itself is pretty cool. I like it. I like the mechanics. Again, some of them were used with the Madarame fight, but I think they're pretty well utilized here. And the second half of the fight, which really isn't a fight, it's more of a cutscene. I love the music in that part.
When you do the final blow.
When you do your Myriad Truths segment, pull out, like, start getting everybody's hope, shoots it up, and then has this Satan thing with 6 wings, who's massive, holding a giant revolver just aimed at this malevolent god that wants to ruin everything. And then, if you do it at the right time, the music just keeps building up until the gunshot actually happens. And, dude,
Beautiful.
it's so cool.
That itself is beautiful.
Also, the fact that you
out of context. Oh.
Also, the fact that you can tell Yadabout, you picked the wrong enemy.
Yeah.
Like, you straight up told a god, you done fucked up.
It's like, yeah, we might be fighting a god, but you chose the wrong teenager to F with. But then...
FYI, they show that final attack.
But then, all that happens, Yaldabaoth goes, oh crap, you shot me, I'm dead now. And just goes away.
It's weird. He blows a hole in him and then he's gone. It's not like Izanami is just fading from existence. That's the whole shot in him. It's like, okay.
I was like, wow, you shot me. Alright, I'm gone. But yeah, all that starts going away. Mementos that was leading over into the real world starts going away. And then everybody except the protagonist and your confidants don't remember a goddamn thing.
Magic side effect? I don't fucking know.
Because, of course, the only real thing that they remember is just like, wasn't there something about, like, thieves or something? Oh, thieves. Oh, I hope Japan gets a prime minister that'll help with that.
Not Shido.
Yeah. They completely forget Shido exists. Pretty much everybody thinks the Phantom Thieves.
No, what happened with Shido was just like, I just hope we don't get Shido, because there's been rumors going on about him.
Yeah, that too. Because he actually did. Like, so... that's something I didn't bring up. That scene where Shido like confesses to everything, but like everybody in Japan's just like, well, we don't care. I mean, like you didn't like we voted for you. What like we don't have anyone else. You have Yoshida. Who's that?
You know, no good Tora. He's actually the best thing ever. He's no good. He's brilliant. He's God on the little soapbox.
But yeah, then the whole scene where Morgana happens.
On a horse, that's Reinhardt, and where
then
the horse comes from.
Something I'm kind of understanding about, but also just like, okay. So it's Christmas when you beat Yaldabaoth. And like Christmas Eve is when you should be doing your last rank up, and it's Morgana. And it's because of that there's no real.
Well, no. Morgana gets ranked up 23rd. You kill him Christmas Eve.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So it's like. That's right. Okay. So it's Christmas Eve. You kill a god, and Saiyajima is just like, well, you actually have to
remember
go.
Goro?
You actually have to go to jail.
Yeah, we kind of need your testimony to completely put Shido away. Unfortunately, that will kind of out you. I'm really sorry about this.
He disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. Everyone forgot about him. Even that girl who literally just obsesses over him just suddenly stopped talking about him. And I don't know. Where'd that guy go? He got mentioned like twice.
It's like, yeah, so Christmas comes over. If you have a date, then you can go and hang out with them. But it's...
and get a key item that will make ranking them up on the next playthrough easier.
Yeah, but it's
Really?
also, but it's also kind of like depressing because like they don't like full out go through everything, but it's like the game basically has it so that like Akira looks troubled about something, and like their date,
Nice
like
subtlety in there.
yeah, their date gets like worried, and then they basically just end the date early because Akira doesn't want to tell them. But then next day happens, and Akira gets incarcerated and put into prison.
Cue all your friends helping you out.
Over the course of a month, which, Jesus Christ, man.
You got everything from Yoshida using his connections to Kawakami getting all the teachers riled up to get to Mishima just doing the petition thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's trying to help you however they can.
After that long montage, a month passes by. It's actually a month and a half passes by. It's in it's the middle of February, and Sai's just like, "Hey, so guess what? You know that woman that Shido was like harassing? We found her." I go, "What?" Yeah.
Hold on. Oh,
You found some random woman in the middle of Japan?
You found the.
It's like, yeah, apparently everybody's rallying up about you being incarcerated falsely, got out so far that she saw it, came in and testified, and now you don't need to be in jail anymore. Huh. Okay then. It's just like, it's like, so...
I'll take it, I guess.
It's like, I'll take it. It makes no sense, and it came out of nowhere, but it's better than being in jail. So, I think it's like the 13th that you get out.
So, like, the following day is Valentine's Day and you have your day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we needed to force in a Valentine's Day event here.
I find that funny how it's just like, we're gonna skip all of January, but we're gonna save up for Valentine's Day.
We could have, like, just ignored Valentine's Day.
But yeah, Valentine's Day happens.
But
You
you
can
did your waifu mechanics, didn't you, stupid person?
you can hang out with your special somebody, or you can hang out with Ryuji and talk about chocolate for like too long. Then the game once again skips ahead for whatever reason until it's March when Protag is about to leave.
Yep.
Hey, no, he comes back or something. I don't know.
No, he's about to leave.
Oh,
he's
he's
about to
leaving.
move back
He goes
home
on the
with
road
his family and
Yeah,
stuff.
probation's over.
Yeah.
Cue the last goodbyes where you talk to every max rank you have.
And I cried again for the second time this playthrough.
Yep.
Everything happens. You find out that your friends found a van, a van, and they've been waiting for you, and they're gonna they basically held you hostage and basically say, hey, we're gonna go on a field trip, like road trip across the country. Like, okay.
And then some guys have go to follow them.
Oh, some
like,
guys
what?
Some guys
Well,
are still following
the hell
them.
was that?
Well, some guys want to follow you, but Morgana may or may not have stolen their spark plugs.
Yeah.
Why are they what? Is this just more spin-off stuff?
It's supposed to be implied. I got the implication that it's just like that's like the police, like still making sure.
And they see a group of teenagers, kind of thing.
I guess either that or it's like some remnants of Shido's people, like keeping track of them. I don't know.
Something like that.
Point is, there were men in black in a black truck trailing them, and Morgana fooled around with them. They go on their trip. The main theme plays again, and then you have your 7-minute long ending theme in Japanese, known as "With the Stars with Us," and it's a beautiful theme.
Yep.
Then you have your extra cutscene at the end, where it's just like, hey, we made it to the beach. There's so much things we could do out here. Where do you think we should go after this? Who knows?
I'm going out. I'm leaving. I'm getting out.
Yeah, Yusuke going like... Yusuke's like, I'm leaving.
Haru's all like, so I know this guy who's been having some trouble. Yusuke, if this is more work, I'm leaving. Come on, it could be fun. Alright, I'm out.
Is that I'm getting out.
We are in the middle of the toll road.
See ya.
And with that, Persona 5 ends, and you can do your New Game Plus and all that sort of thing.
Which
this
carries
is only
over
took
equipment,
3 hours.
Personas, and some confidant bonuses.
Yeah. And then you can fight the Velvet Twins and get a trophy.
And honestly, they're the easiest. It's the easiest Velvet fight to reach.
Yeah.
Because you just need to get some mementos and you can fight them.
Yeah, but I don't yet. But the game pretty much says, why would you do that when you're not even close to being level 99?
Few people like Jacob who've beaten it at around level 10.
Jacob.
I like my RPGs, okay?
I know you do. But yeah, that's all. I have no idea how many parts this is going to be. It's going to be like 7 parts probably.
Because it's 3 hours long at this point.
I know it is. But
all
all
you like to
that's
talk about Persona if you can't tell.
all that's said and
Have I
done.
mentioned Goro was only mentioned twice after he vanished?
Yeah, again, like I get the ambiguity because it's just like, well, we could have him come back in spin-offs, but it's just like, if you need a spin-off to add context to what happened in like the game that the spin-off's based on, then that kind of makes the story like itself seem incomplete. It's like how games that know that want to have a trilogy feel so empty because they're just setting up for like the second game.
Hi, 2 Human.
Hi, Destiny.
No, seriously. 2 Human. It was meant to be a trilogy. It only ever got 1 game.
Hi,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15. But at least the DLC is going to make that actually. It's actually going to be DLC, and there's only going to be 3 parts of that. That's like story based. Everything else will come out. Why are we talking about this now? Why am I
But
talking?
anyways, all that said and done, what can we say about Persona 5 that hasn't been said already? Besides the fact that it's really good, everybody should buy it, and Hifumi is best waifu.
You aren't wrong. Well, actually, you are. But
You aren't wrong. Actually, you are wrong.
you're mostly right.
Triforce, any last words to say about Persona 5?
This is honestly the Persona I've wanted to 100% the most out of all of them, and considering how much of a completionist I am.
7.8 out of 10. Too much card games.
Too much card games.
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah,
Too
no,
much-
it's just like
too
again,
much-
Persona 4, favorite game ever. I've still yet to fully get the drive to 100% that one.
P5 is still like significantly better than P4 and P3.
Yeah, again, like only reason like Persona 5.
It's only different. And
Yeah,
it's
again,
P5.
like Persona 5, is easily the better game. It's just Persona 4 has more memories for me and stuff like that.
Persona 3 Portable is that way with me, too.
I'm gonna stand by Persona 2 having a better story because it doesn't fall apart to mature.
I still need to buy the first 2.
Don't do that. Wait until they eventually remake it in like 20 years.
Yeah,
I meant like the Vita versions.
but
But then it'll be actually fun to play.
But Triforce, the thing about that is that I would listen to Jacob because I was about to buy Strange Journey and then they announced the remake for that. Oh, like 5 months ago, I bought Radiant Historia. Literally 2 days later, they announced the remake for Radiant Historia.
Well, thing is, they've already remade Personas 1 and 2,
They could do it again.
and I can buy them all on the Vita.
They could do it again, and actually better. And also, Persona 2 is missing half of its story.
They have both halves on the Vita shop.
But Eternal Punishment is the PlayStation 1 port that not only has some localization issues, but also has some inconsistencies.
Oh.
Thanks, mistrend. Thanks,
And-
mistrend. We need the.
And also, Eternal Punishment PSP added like a whole other thing that like expanded on the story so much more that the PS1 version just doesn't have.
PSP Eternal Punishment has a story with Igor in it. With Igor doing stuff. Like, remember, it has parts about Igor's character.
Persona 2 is so unlike other Persona games that most people would know about, to the point where Igor actually leaves the Velvet Room in Persona 2.
Oh.
Because Narlathep is that much of a threat that Igor himself has to like take the gloves off and go, okay, I'm coming out here. I'm tired of your crap.
Well, yeah, he leaves the Velvet Room and goes to still like another weird realmy place, but
Yeah. But
It's
still,
not
the
another
fact that you see Igor outside the Velvet Room, period, is pretty out there, unless you've watched Persona Trinity Souls, in which case he's just in an alley for some reason, and then he ends up giving everybody their persona, sorta. Yeah, I like Trinity Souls actually is pretty interesting. I'd recommend watching that if you have extra time.
Alright.
Just don't think of it as the only character you should probably care about as well. Care about the story, ignore its connections to 3 and 4 unless Akihiko shows up. This is going off topic because I need to point out that Akihiko is good.
Akihiko has a different character development from Trinity Souls that got erased from existence when people didn't like Trinity Souls for whatever reason.
Whatever piece of shit is in Arena and Persona Q, that's not Akihiko. That's some bizarre piece of shit that's been called Akihiko. It really isn't.
That's some protein powder that's taking the shape of Akihiko.
That's like Garen from the worst Fire Emblem game.
Okay, we've gotten to Fire Emblem now. We're going too off topic. At this point, we've gone on for quite a while about Persona 5. It's going to be multiple parts, Jesus Christ. With all that said, I don't think there's anything else left to say about it. Guess not. So, from all of us here at the Chaotic Crusaders, thank you all for watching all of this. Jesus Christ.
You didn't watch all of this. I don't think you did. I don't believe you. Prove me wrong.
They show a screenshot of their watch history.
So yeah, with all that said, thank you guys for watching. I am Yuri Girl.
I'm Triforce.
And I'm JacobPF, and I'm gonna jump down a flight of stairs.
While he does that, I would like to say thank you guys for watching.
That's too great! Son of a bitch!
He actually did, oh my god.
See you guys later. We're weird.
But meanwhile, the sky is blue.
Meanwhile, the sky is blue, the sun's hot, and Sub still doesn't have a girlfriend.
He's dating lamppost.
He's dating a lamppost.
Alright.
See you guys.
Bye.